girl that had a contact, a PR that had a contact to a woman Megan, who I absolutely love, Megan Averbuch, who I absolutely love. She had a venue that was spectacular through one of her clients, free. Had my other contact who she knew Megan, but she also had certain athletes that she had relationships to, free. I came up with the concept of having, instead of having the brands put their items into a bag, have the celebrity come in, they take the bag, they have their drinks, they have their hors d'oeuvres to leave, they go back to their hotel room, throw the bag wherever it may go. And then that's hundreds of, unless it's a free T-Mobile phone or something like that, because those were real too. They give them real free phones and stuff like that sometimes. Sometimes the give backs were legit. But ultimately anything else would just be thrown to the wind. So instead, I decided, let's have the brands show up with their representatives at their tables, right? Set up whatever product isn't selling or whatever product they're launching, right? And have that presented to the celebrities and influencers and athletes. And then they put what they want in their bag. Direct to consumer sales, right? But free, because it's NBA All-Stars and these people don't need your products. But essentially, we had Xbox, Davidoff of Geneva, because that venue had a balcony on Fifth Avenue, and they could have their cigars and do what they wanted to do. And then we also had Under Armour, Louis XIII, not encouraging y'all to drink, and if you do, don't drive while you do it, okay? Just making a note of that. And their French ambassador came out and did a private toast to the players. And so it ended up being a really great event. But what I did was, it was my starting point to say, this is the first event that doesn't have J on it. I wanted Fashion Entertainment Media, my company name. And I had set a goal for myself. I was 25. I said, if by 25 I don't make $1, and I meant that. And I meant that, not like, oh, a $500, $600, I meant $1. If I don't make $1 off this event, I'm going to real estate like Daddy said and calling it a day. Yeah, Daddy bought the classes. He did twice. Twice, because my passion wasn't real estate, but I'm I'm good with sales. But he did it twice. I failed the test first time. My mom said, you can get a C without studying. And I was like, yeah, that's why I got a D, because I didn't study. But then the second time I did it. And I said, okay, if I don't make this $1, I'm good. But I didn't want to promote myself anymore as a freelancer. I wanted everything to go under Fashion Entertainment Media, because I had been a freelancer independent from 19 to 25. You see that gap, right? So it means it don't happen overnight. And another note that I mentioned over on the panel is I did it with integrity and ethics. Ladies, don't where you eat. And no calls when it's dark outside. I don't play that. Okay? If there's no light out, there's no $1 million deal that's gonna come through. There's no relationship that anyone should feel. 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5. And people get this misconstrued that as an entrepreneur, oh, it's 24/7. Stop it. That's malarkey, okay? It is not. You're not yes, you can work on your own computer, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I did it. Christine, my assistant, she'll tell you, my executive coordinator, she'll tell you. I'm 4 o'clock in the morning, I have engineers texting me. I'm up, sometimes. Even now, it's something that you have in you when you're passionate about what you're doing, you're passionate about your brand. But when it comes to doing business with the opposite sex after a certain time, I earned my respect that way. And that's all we have, really, because it all really works against us being women, undervalued, underestimated, all of that. So it's a big thing. But like I was saying, I ended up from 19 to 25 doing that. And so finally I wrote my name in the sand at Fashion Entertainment Media. Fox magazine was there. Fox. Yeah, just saying, Fox. But, you Google me, it was in there. But you know what it was? The writer was a black woman she's awesome. She's really, really nice, and she always supported my career from that moment, which is a rare thing to find in the industry, especially in the corporate space. So yeah, she followed me to a few things. And then Huffington Post and a number of other things came from that. And that also gave me leverage, and it also allowed me to work off referral. So that was my first break. 2015 NBA All-Stars Gifting Suite. It was my first big break, and I was able to then work off referral, which meant cut the check for the price, no negotiating. This is the dollar amount, you've seen what I can do. Whoever referred you to me knows what I'm able and capable of doing, so cut the check. Yes. Mhm. Still alone. Still alone. I actually just I posted that the other day. That I'm alone. I am. I'm alone 90% of the time. You know, they say, and to her point, she's absolutely right. There will come a point where you can't take Kiki, Mimi, and Didi with you. You know, you just can't. And even if they also are entrepreneurs, right? Um, they their downs can also bring you down. When you see someone close to you that you may admire or feel like is just as smart as you or doing the same things as you or is even better than you in certain spaces, right? And they're not doing well and you're not doing well, that plays with you. It can mess with you. So I always felt that you have to do it yourself first. And that's the best thing about my career, I think, of why I was able to meet certain people and get in certain places because I was by myself, especially in New York. It's not easy. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you forget your girlfriends, forget your guy friends and all of that. What I'm saying is you can't bring them with you until you make it. And I'm telling you right now, when you're waiting in those lines in New York to get in those events and things like that, when they'll let the person in that got one. But the person that has 5, 6, 7, you might not get that pass because you're worried about not looking like a sellout, not looking like you're not a good friend, not looking like you're going to come back for your people. But that's not the case. I've come back for everybody. But your friends are going to support you. And if you're waiting on your friend to get ready so you can go to this event, no. Get yourself together and go because your friend might be, oh, I got this, I'm tired, and what you gonna do? You can't be scared to walk in those rooms by yourself. And it is hard. Even now, I am solo. I have 2 friends. One is my first cousin. True story. First cousin and a friend of mine that I met from Alvin Ailey, my days at Ailey. I was a young assistant professional with Alvin Ailey when I was 12. And she's been my friend ever since. But she's in a different space. She's in the music space. But she's been my friend and she supported me even in those moments where I might have gone years without speaking to her. We go years, we have more of a social media relationship, right? Then we see each other. And she's in New York, it's not like she's far, I'm in Jersey, she's in New York. It's not like it's far, but when you're focused on yourself and doing what you have to do so you can enjoy those nights out with your friends without looking at your bank account, transferring funds, you know, real, that's real. You know what I mean? That's real. Looking at, trying to keep up a perception will have you broke and in the same space that you started 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, 3 years ago. That's the problem that I feel plagues us as a people. Looking like we have it, even when we don't. And fake it till you make it is not going broke, okay, to look a certain way. That is the problem with us as a culture. And it's not easy, because I tell you the first check I got, I'll give you a story, and then I'm gonna tell y'all how to do it. First check I got, I was like 20, like as an entrepreneur, I was like 21-ish. And I had been hustling so long, working, you know, again, just opportunities, building up my resume with those names, even though they weren't cutting checks, or even when they was cutting little checks. And I got my first check of $1,200. Don't laugh at me, because $1,200 back then was a lot. I mean, it might still be a lot now. It's a lot now, even for me. I look at every check as dollar size, you know what I mean? But it was $1,200. It might have been a little less than that, because taxes. It was $1,200 on paper and then taxes. But
Go ahead.
I went shopping. Because you know what it is you wait so long, and I stayed down, I worked, I had 2 jobs, I was taking care of my dad too, suffering from heart disease, so I would go back and forth. That was like a 10-year thing. But I got that check and I was like, finally, I can treat myself. I've been working so hard. And I bought a coat that I needed, that I really needed for wintertime in New York. And I bought jeans, I bought makeup, I bought all these different things. And when I got back to my little apartment, I was like, snap. My cell phone bill is overdue. And I told them I was gonna pay that this week. Oh yeah, okay, I need to, and rent. Oh, okay. well, let me see how I can now start negotiating with God. Let me see, can I call Verizon and see if maybe I can like make something, get that pushed back so I can enjoy my check. You start negotiating. Maybe I can go and give my landlord a little like sad story so I can like get a little extra few days so maybe my next check can cover you do that. Y'all know y'all do it. I've done it. Y'all know y'all do. Don't act like I'm too like y'all too good, because you know you have. Because I have some stories about some stuff I done did. You know, grandma was, you know, God rest her soul, was going about 6 years, and I was like, my grandmother died, and you know, and I just need an extra week. You know, my grandmother was cool. She wouldn't mind. But it's real. I'm just keeping it real with you. These are things you do when you're trying to make ends meet. You can't. I didn't have. My mom wasn't supportive. She was tough love. If she wasn't like that and she didn't raise me the way she did, I wouldn't be who I am. But in those moments, not having that support, mentally and emotionally, hearing it over and over again, get a real job, you know, because she come from a generation of mailroom, work your way up, you get the VP, you get your degree and all of that. So, and my dad did too. But my dad wasn't as verbal, but my mom was very not supportive at all. Some of the things that you wouldn't even say probably to your worst enemy, my mom would say. It was, yeah, she's tough, but I love her. Love her dearly. But ultimately, it takes a strong mind, emotionally and mentally, to overcome that, and also see friends getting cars, getting a real apartment, because they have their 9 to 5, right? And they're getting those checks, and they chose corporate, right? And you see them doing all these things, and you're still in my apartment negotiating with God about pushing back this and this. I could have a pair of jeans and my little mascara. But I sat there and I said, you know what? I can't. I sat there for hours. I ain't even no lie. I sat there for a few hours, and I decided what needed to go back. I kept the coat, and because I needed it for New York. I kept the coat, but I literally sent back everything. And I thought to myself, you know what? There's always going to be something new. I said, all of this stuff, this stuff that I want now, there's going to be something next season, next year that I'm going to want, and it's going to be better than this. And I'm not going to think about this thing that I'm putting back now. I needed to make sacrifices, and that put me in a whole different space. Sitting there for 2 hours, I said, I don't want to live like this. This is why I'm trying to do what I'm doing, because I don't want to pick and choose. You know how Cardi B say she want it in every color? She bought it on my birthday too. I want it in every color, you know. So I look at it like that, you know, and that's what really drove me to say, I'm not living like this. I can't do it. So sacrifice and knowing what you want, and really dedicating yourself to that, and getting rid of all the other perceptions that you might feel is important, because they're just material.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
can you get the mic? Yeah, go ahead, speak up.
it breaks down exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
YouTube video, but it breaks down. Let me grab this from you.
So I want to know how much do you agree with that? And if so, like where's the like how is the extent that you would go, like, okay, maybe this is not working, maybe I should put this on hold until I can get my money on.
It happened to me. So remember I told y'all guys I had when I went to Morgan, I had 2 jobs. And ladies, I'll be honest with you. If you're gonna work jobs while you're going to school or whatever you do, 2 best places to work that I figured out, just figuring out, right? Life, just experience. Clothing store. Because at least you get a discount on your clothes. So if you're gonna buy clothes, you might be rocking buckle for the next however long, but at least you have your 50%, 40%, 30% discount, right? As opposed to going anywhere else and paying top dollar, right? And a salon and spa. Yeah, you shaking your